Okay, so this says I'm live. This is like the first live I've done in a really long time because I don't really like doing this, but here I am. And I hope that this is working. I have no idea to know. So anyway, kind of a test. I used to do a podcast on SoundCloud called D.I.S, and it stands for Deep Important Shit. And I kind of wanted to be a little irreverent with the title, the shit part, meaning that I'm expressing opinions, I'm sharing my own thoughts. But somebody's watching. If you can hear me, just maybe let me know. Some of my own thoughts, and it's not like I believe myself. Great, thanks, Stephen. It's not like I believe myself and the things that I think completely. I'm just putting this out there because it's coming to me, and so there you have it. We're in unprecedented times, of course, obviously. And there's all different kinds of levels of consciousness in terms of how people are experiencing this time period that we're in. I'm just here to talk to a few that maybe will hear the message. And there are some things that are coming to me that I feel like I need to share that, they've been on my mind for a while now, and now it's like, oh, for God's sakes, just do it, DL, just do it. So here I am. Today, I wanted to broach one of the easier subjects that has been pressing for me, and that is some understandings about how we're all connected. And actually, yoga and practicing yoga is something that has helped me understand that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about fascia, which is the body's connective tissue. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more in broader terms of why that's important and what I realized. So if you're not familiar with fascia, it's the connective tissue that surrounds basically all of our muscles and joints, and it runs from head to foot, on the back side of the body, the front side of the body, from side to side, arm to arm. It's everywhere. And there was a time when the anatomists who would that perform their science on cadavers would just cut this fabric away and throw it away, and then they would look at what was underneath, and they just thought it was useless and just stuff. Now, more recently, there have been some new discoveries and understandings about fascia and how important it is, and that it's actually considered now an organ in its own right. Now, this was the connective tissue of the body, something that connects all of us and that communicates and has more nerve endings than muscle fiber. And yet here we were just putting it into the trash. We were just completely ignoring it. So fast forward, I was taking this dance workshop, and it was about the space between us. And I realized during that workshop that space between us, between you and me, between the tree and the chair, all of this space is not empty. It's very full. It's just like fascia. One time we were throwing it away and dismissing it and thinking it was empty, not seeing it for what it was. But this space between you and I, there is connection there. It's the connective tissue. Okay, so we're not just separate. We will never be separate. And this virus, what's happening on this planet right now with this virus is this opportunity to see how very deeply connected we are in a very real way that makes sense. Because it's hard to grok, it's hard to see beyond what we can see with our eyes. You know, the importance of social isolating, although I don't like that term, is very evident now because if we don't honor this, if we don't honor this need to keep separate from those who are more vulnerable, et cetera, then yeah, we're not understanding how connected we are. And if we do see and understand, okay, I see how this spreads exponentially. If I'm carrying and I happen to expose a person who, you know, may then carry to that person and 10 other people and so on and so on and so on, like the old American shampoo commercial. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I was thinking about that the other day. Then a lot more people are going to get hurt. And, you know, we don't know where this is headed. Gosh, we're only just beginning to understand the ramifications of this. I mean, already things are happening in the United States with the Department of Justice wanting to hold and detain people indefinitely without trial, you know, and taking advantage of this crisis instead of, you know, helping the people who need it. And it's you know, I've also heard, and I haven't done the research, so I'm just going to put out there that there are news sources saying that 5G is now being installed on schools that have been closed down in the United States. So there's another, you know, they're taking advantage of the situation again to put out this technology that, you know, I know there's a lot of debate about whether it's healthy or not. I have very strong opinions about it myself, and I don't think we should be just rolling this shit out without more research. Yeah, so anyway, this episode of D.I.S. is just to point out this connection, and that the space between us is not empty. It's full of thought that, you know, we have these thoughts and we think that they're ours. They're not even our thoughts, our personal thoughts. There's this ether, this system, this net that is connecting us, and it's not empty. So there's a lot of exploration to be done there. All right, thanks for listening. This was my first Facebook Live of Deep Important Shit. I'll be back again. There are some other topics that I want to share, and I know they're not going to be for everybody, and I guess I just don't care anymore. I'm just doing this for myself and for anyone who hears this and resonates or starts to think in new ways. You know, it's like you put out a thought, someone else gets something out of that thought, and that's how creation and change and insight happens. So again, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.